Hello and welcome back to another Not So Weekly news from RC Model Reviews. And today's t-shirt, LTech FPV from fpvgroundstation.co.uk. There you go. I don't know if I've worn this one before, but there you go. As I say, you send me a t-shirt, I'll wear it. Won't necessarily endorse your product, your service or your website, but hey, the dozens of people who watch these videos will see what I'm wearing and maybe they'll go and look at your website and see what it's all about. So there you go. Go and have a look. Right, what's on the agenda today? Well, first of all, I have to make you a little bit of an announcement. The local council has forbidden me to perform any kind of transmission from my workshop. So where are we? I can't even turn on this transmitter, or I'll be in breach of my lease, they claim. Can't turn on this transmitter because, and this is any time, this is day or night. Even at 3 o'clock in the morning, I'm not allowed to turn on this transmitter because it might interfere with radio controlled models being flown at the airfield here. Even though the regulations clearly state you're not allowed to fly a model aircraft after sunset or before sunrise. But the council says, and they say it's our airfield, they don't say it is the community's airfield that we hold in trust. They say it's our airfield, and what we say goes. And we've decided that if you transmit anything from your workshop, you'll be kicked out. Honestly. Anyway, I'm going to do another video about that because this whole situation with the council here is getting so far beyond a joke, it's ridiculous. There was a model jet meeting here on the weekend. I went out to film, as I do. The CEO of the council, Craig Hobbs, came up to me and said, "You're not allowed to film." And I said, "Excuse me?" He says, "No commercial activity is allowed on the airfield when it's closed. And, you know, since you put these videos on YouTube and there's advertising on them, it's deemed to be commercial activity, therefore it's forbidden." So I asked Mr. Hobbs in an email, please quote the bylaw, the rule, the regulation under which you wish to stop me from filming. He couldn't. So this is harassment. The man comes up to me with some demand, which isn't backed by any rule that he can back up, demanding that I am not allowed to film at the airfield. Because what would that do? Would it endanger anyone? Would it get in the way of anything? No, I'm standing right back here where the public are, and yet for some reason if I hold a camera and I video models, it's against the council's rules, or at least the rule they haven't made yet, but I'm sure they will, and act retrospectively to stop me filming. Anyway, as I say, a full video coming up on that because it's time to actually, you know, enough is enough, we've got to take some action. People have said to me, "Why don't you take some legal action against the council?" Well, I think that time is nigh because they've also defamed me. They've sent emails to people from around the world making outrageous libelous statements about me which are totally untrue and impugn my good reputation as a promoter of this hobby, as a promoter of safety, and as a figurehead in the industry. So you can't do that. That is just so illegal. It's time the council was called to account. So I'm going to expose all the skullduggery that's gone on here. And I'm going to tell you how you can help me to put these people back in their place. They are not demigods. They are elected people to serve the community, not to dictate to the community, not to take offence at someone because he's criticised them or pointed out their wrongdoings. They have to treat everyone with an even hand and they have to be held to account when they don't. So stay tuned for that video. Anyway, back with the weekly news. What have I got to show you? Well, first of all, and I don't want any groans from those of you who hate multi-rotors, because as I said, my flying options, even my transmission options, are completely screwed now. The council has said I cannot fly in any public place anywhere in the district. If I want to make a video of something flying, I've got to leave the district to do it because it's so dangerous. Anyway, I've got this. Look at this. This is the Iris Plus from 3D Robotics. And how come I've got this? Well, as most people know, I'm not really a great fan of conventional multi-rotors. Love mini-quads. Love them because they're just so different and exciting and you can have so much fun with them. But I've previously mentioned that these, like a Phantom 2 and those sort of things, it's like a balloon, you know, you'd move it around and you can take videos. Where's the excitement? Where's the fun? That's just from my perspective. I know a lot of people will be busy going, oh, tick, 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 typing on the keyboards. It's a lot of fun with my Phantom 2. But the basis is that, basic thing is I'm not really that enamored with conventional multi-rotors, which I'm sure a lot of people down the back there who are busy going, oh, multi-rotors again, will be most pleased to hear. I'd love to get out there and fly fixed wing, but I can't. There's no way I can do it at the moment. The farmer's in maize. What do I do? So anyway, I said 3D Robotics emailed me 3 or 4 months ago and said, would you like to take a look at our Pixhawk flight controller? And I said, yeah, I would actually, because I've seen a few people who have been playing with it, and it certainly looks very powerful from all the brochure, all the stuff I've read, and I'd like to take a look at it. So I sent them back an email to that effect. Didn't hear anything else, nothing else. I thought, no, you are busy, you know, they obviously changed their mind. And then I've had probably half a dozen people come in here in the last couple of months with multi-rotors that have got the Pixhawk in them. And some of them had a few problems, and of course I'm not familiar with the Pixhawk, so I tried to help them out as best I could, but you know, it's a tapping of white canes, the blind leading the blind, so I thought, well, maybe I should just remind 3D Robotics of their offer and see if they're still prepared to send me one. So I emailed back to 3D Robotics and said, hey, you know, is the offer still available? And I got a reply back saying, yes, no problems, we'll send you one. And I thought, woohoo! So I thought, good. And then less than a week later, I got a note from New Zealand Customs saying you owe some tax on an import. And I thought, hang on a minute, I don't think the Pixhawk is that expensive, because I was thinking they're going to send me just this thing here. Where is it? The Pixhawk flight controller, just that thing there. And these are, I don't know, a couple $100 or something. I'm not sure. Look at the price. You'll look it up. You'll know. And I thought, why would I be paying tax on this? Because we're allowed to import stuff up to $400 before we have to pay duty or tax or anything like that. So when I got this demand from the customs for a couple of $100, I thought, well, $250, I thought, whoa, how come this is so expensive? And then, of course, after I paid the thing, you know, this turns up, so I realised why. Because this is the full ready-to-fly version. It's got the transmitter, it's got the LiPo, it's got the charger, got the telemetry, got every damn thing you need to fly your Iris drone. Woo, excellent. So I'm going to do a full review of that. And I'm going to compare it to like the Phantom and the QRX 350 and others, because it is really, it falls into that halfway between the really keen hobbyist recreational flyer and the droner, the people who buy these things just to float them around the sky like a balloon with a camera on them. So I'm going to look at that and just see what you get for your money, see if it's worth it. Because of course it brings up this whole thing. You can go out and buy clones of the Pixhawk. I've seen like Fixhawk and what is it? All sorts of funny names, derivations, but they're not called Pixhawk, but they're just a copy of the Pixhawk because it's open source. And they're cheaper. Are they as good? Well, I know one guy that's fitted a Pixhawk clone to one of his quads and he's had an enormous amount of problem with it. So we'll see whether it was just a learning, you know, a PEBCAK error, you know, problem between keyboard and, problem between chair and keyboard, or whether it was actually something wrong with the clones. We'll look at that, find out. So there you go, that's one thing that's coming up. And also this week I got an email from the chappie who does the ThugFrames thanking me for showing his product, because now he's very busy filling orders, and that's something that seems to happen an awful lot. When I give a product a good review, or I speak favourably about it, it seems that the sales of that product usually take off. And often I get so many emails of complaint saying, why did you review that product and give it such a good review? Because now I can't buy one, everybody's sold out. And sometimes it happens. So as you know, I'm doing a couple of videos, you know, building your first mini quad, and a complete build video, where to get the bits, how to put them together, how to tune it, how to, even so much as, you know, learning to fly your mini quad. And so what I need to do to be sure of that, of course, make sure that everyone's going to have the bits that I recommend in stock. It's no good me saying, go and buy this, this, and this, if you go and buy this, but find the final thing is out of stock for 3 months because the manufacturer didn't anticipate the demand, or the resellers don't have any stock. So I've got to liaise with all these people, make sure that when the video goes up, you can all just go out and buy stuff without having to worry about that. And remember, I don't take any kickbacks. There's no commissions. I'm not on an affiliate scheme. I don't sell anything. I don't, you know, basically, my income from this is solely from the small amount of money I get from the YouTube ads and people that kindly gift me money for the, you know, the help I've given them through these videos, and sometimes one-on-one. And that's all I do. I don't sell stuff. There are a lot of sites out, a lot of YouTube channels out there that, you know, do reviews, but they tend to review the stuff they're selling and they give it favourable reviews for obvious reasons. Well, I decided right from the beginning, this channel will never be sponsored, it will never sell any products, and it will never take any kind of affiliate scheme or commission for products, because it just completely destroys the objectivity, and I'm not prepared to do that. So that's why I'm waiting at the moment. Chinese New Year, I forgot all about it. So over in China, lots of the hardworking Chinese people have taken 2 weeks off to go back and spend with their families in the villages and, you know, basically put their feet up and have a bit of a good time, which is great because they deserve it. They've been working very hard. But it means that some of the Chinese resellers, they're not going to respond to your orders for another week or so, and then it's going to catch up with the backlog. So it could be a month before you get a product from some of the suppliers. But it's interesting to note, very interesting to note, that increasingly a lot of the Chinese online retailers have basically got staff working through the Chinese New Year because they realise the importance of keeping up with demand, and the Western world doesn't take 2 weeks off. So they realise if they want to maintain the business, they've got to actually service the demand over that 2 week period. So an increasing number of RC general retailers in China who have websites are still fulfilling orders right through the Chinese New Year, and that's brilliant for us. You got to feel sorry for the Chinese people who don't get their holiday. Perhaps they get it later, I don't know. So there you go. Anyway, the guy from ThugFrames said thank you very much for the promo and well, for showing my product and giving it a recommendation, which is good, and a lot of people do that. And while I'm speaking of Thug Arms, I've got to give a call out now. Don't give call outs very often, if at all, but I'm going to call out to CB. CB is a very important person, part of the ThugFrames team, and g'day, how's it going? I can see you on the other side there. Anyway, thank you for your help and assistance, CB, and I'm sure it makes the product better that you're involved. Important guy. Right, what else? I've got a yacht, which I've been thinking of reviewing for some time, and it may be all I can review at the moment. So, and a lot more bench stuff. More bench stuff. It's the middle of summer. I should be out flying. It really pisses me off because I know that in a month's time the weather's going to start turning, and then we've got another 8 or 9 months of crap weather. So I'm going to be stuck on the bench for that as well, and it's just really, really annoying. But in the meantime, thank you for watching. I don't think there's anything else that I didn't do a list today, so I've probably forgotten heaps of stuff. Never mind, it was basically just to give you a heads up what's coming up with the video regarding what I plan to do with the council. And you'll have to watch that and see what's going on. Thanks for watching. Meantime, I better get back to the bench, make sure I don't transmit anything or I'll be out on my ear. Bye for now.